Hi everyone, Matt Brown here. My initial thoughts of this class coming into is I kind of figured, being a Google user for several years now, kind of feel like I was already fluent in it. At least the stuff I used, I feel like I knew quite a bit about it. Wasn't sure how much Google had left to offer in terms of things I could use in the classroom and whatnot. But I did figure they had a lot of different applications that I hadn't heard of yet or had used. But coming into this course, I didn't know how much more I would be able to use in my classroom or even my personal life on a day-to-day basis. So after the first few assignments, I found that I wasn't as good with Google as I previously thought I was. Just for example, in Gmail, which I had been using since my undergraduate degree several years ago, been using it for years. Gmail, I had no idea they had something like a vacation responder where if you're gone for an extended period of time, you can have an automatic response sent out to the people who email you, which I thought was great because that means people wouldn't think you're ignoring them, or maybe they're not getting their messages, your emails, and it's just an automatic way to get them to know that, hey, you're on vacation, not responding to emails right now. I've been using it for nearly a decade now and still had no idea. Google Keep, I had seen Google Keep before, but had never really messed with it. Didn't really think I'd need it. But after going through some of the assignments, I found that's an actual great way for students to jot down quick notes. But really hadn't, for the most part, really didn't know it existed and it could be used in the classroom setting. And just I found that there's so many apps that Google offers that can be utilized for the students in the classroom. And also Google Sites. Coming into this course, I had no idea. I had never once messed with Google Sites, and I feel like creating a class page could be extremely useful. So the question I asked myself is, how can I use these Google apps in my classroom along with my everyday life? So what I kind of found with Google Classroom, this helps students utilize Google Docs, Google Slides, Drive, and not only that, but they can also be used for collaboration between the students. So you don't have to worry about them emailing each other. They can just collaborate on the same doc or the same assignment. Not to mention, it also saves a lot of money on paper and textbooks. Another thing I learned is to make sure that they are trained to use Calendar and Keep as a way to keep organized, because if they're not trained to use it, kind of like I was at the beginning of this course, if you're not trained or educated on how to use these things, you're not going to utilize them. Google apps, they come free with Google accounts, which are also free. Like for our students, we set up their accounts here at school so that everything is offered to them for free. Using Google Sites, it can be used as a class page, with just like we do here for our courses here at Fort Hays. There's course info, there's schedule, there's syllabus attached to it, and Hangouts and Meets can also be helped to increase collaboration for everyone in the school, especially teacher to teacher or student to student, teacher to student, any way possible. The synthesis stage with this new knowledge, it's my responsibility to pass it on and also use it, kind of one of those practice what you preach type deals. I want to utilize what I have learned from these various applications to use in my classroom for the students to become more fluent with and increase my collaboration with my fellow staff members as well as my students. Hey, so the ISTE standards and the TPACK model. In the ISTE standards, we all know that students in the student section describe skills and knowledge they need to grow and thrive. Educators define the digital age skills educators need to apply and teach, which I feel like is more important now than it ever has been, especially with all these schools going straight to digital because of COVID-19. This is the perfect, I know it's weird for me to use this word, but the perfect time for schools to start doing this. At our school, for example, right now, the teachers that have been 100% against technology are now starting to use Google Classroom. So now I am finally able to pass on this knowledge to them, and they are actually putting it to use now. Again, it's weird for me to use the word perfect when describing a global pandemic, but this is the time that teachers and students are getting they're getting practice with these skills to use Google Apps right now. And the TPACK model, when you have your content knowledge, which the teacher's own knowledge, the pedagogical knowledge, the knowledge of the practices, the processes, and the methods regarding their teachings, and the technological knowledge, which is the ability to use and understand the technologies. When you put all those together, you get the TPACK model. And the ISTE standards gives the teachers guidelines on how to present this to the next generation. The TPACK model coincides with the ISTE standards, and without them, there would be no guideline, no direction with how we present the material. I enjoyed this class with you guys, and good luck in the future.